Alright guys, so today I want to go over resisting extension through your lower back when you're executing specific core exercises. So the idea behind what I'm going to explain to you today translates over to virtually every single core exercise that you've ever done in your entire life. And it's important to execute the right way, that way you put the stress on your anterior core and not your posterior core. It's also important to understand that your core is about 360 degrees, so it's almost like a cylinder. So you want to activate every single side or every single part of your core in an equal manner, right? So in specific positions, right? So like through extension of your lumbar spine, even if you keep your core engaged, in this position, you're taking a lot less stress from your core and you're putting it on your back. So if everything was even, right? And you were engaging here, 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 and here, right? Because your hips are part of your core as well. You're going to put stress, you're gonna disperse the stress equally throughout the system, right? So that's what we're gonna go over today. So I'm gonna show you different exercises that are going to translate over to what I'm talking about. So the first one is just a simple plank, right? So when we see planks, right, we like to think about, just keeping a good core position, right? So we don't want our hips to sag, right, and our shoulders to dip. When our hips sag and our shoulders dip, again, we put all that pressure on the posterior aspect of our body. So we want to think about pushing away from the ground and then engaging our glutes, right? From here, you should feel tension in your anterior core, and by engaging your glutes and getting into posterior tilt, you're actually taking pressure off of your lower back, right? So this is a core, prone bridge, one leg prone bridge again, bam. And then let's go to a bird dog. So bird dog, similar thought, right? Push away from the ground, keep everything tight, and then make sure that you're not using your lower back to lift your legs and your arms overhead, right? So I'll show you what that would look like. So something like this, right? So your goal here with the core exercises is just to keep tension and learn to move to the right areas. And the more you keep your core engaged and your glutes engaged, the harder it is for your lower back to extend during these movements, right? I'll show you also a stability ball rollout, which is a very, very difficult anterior core exercise where we tend to extend often, right? So you want to think about rounding first and then reaching overhead and then pulling back through, right? So again, you'll see people that lack range of motion in their shoulders, so if they can't get their arms overhead all the way, they tend to use their lower back, and it'll look like this. Right, so again, you want to squeeze everything tight, right? Get your glutes engaged the entire time. Bam. Cool. And then I'll show you inchworms as well, because I think that one's important. So the inchworm is a dynamic exercise, meaning we're going to move continuously throughout the specific exercise. So we're not going to just do it in place. You're going to get more core stress when you reach as far as you can, walk back out, and then continue that manner. So I'll show you what a reverse inchworm will look like. Start by toe touching. Go all the way. Keep your hips up the same height again as your shoulders. Bam. I squeeze my glutes. And I start to keep everything tight, and I walk my hands to my feet. And then continue from there. So the regular inchworm is the same thing. So again, the whole goal behind just any type of core exercise is to resist this motion when you're executing them.